With Valentine's Day quickly approaching, I thought what better time was there to bring back this series? One that's constantly getting us all in the feels. But if you're feeling more on the cynical side of things, you can always check out my hate series instead. You'll feel a little bit more at home. Anyways, throughout his hockey career, William Nylander has made some notable bromances regardless of when and where he was playing. From participating in pro hockey in Sweden to dressing for the Toronto Marlies, Nylander has made those connections that will last a lifetime. And with that, here are the top 4 players that William Nylander loves the most. Possibly the most unlikely duo on this list would be that of William Nylander and David Pastrnak. Why? Well, when the two first met pre-NHL in Sweden, they had no real way to communicate. Verbally anyways. First, I think I said hi, maybe in Swedish, and then he didn't say anything. Then I said hi in English. Then we started talking through Google Translate, Nylander says. We talked about everything. That's how it all started, he says. The two teenagers at the time shared the mutual dream of the NHL while playing as teammates with the SSK for 2 years and shared chemistry not only off the ice but also on it. We had chemistry right since the first game, and we did pretty good together, Pastrnak says. It was good memories from Sweden. The two would later go on to face each other in the World Juniors and the NHL. And despite both playing for teams that are sworn enemies, Nylander and Pastrnak still make it work. When we see each other, it's like we haven't missed each other at all, Nylander says. He's a funny guy. We like to have fun together. It's just a blast being around him. He's a great guy once you get to know him. Before it was William and David in Sweden, it was William and Nick in the United States, as both forwards played together side by side in their early teen years, starting with the Chicago Mission Bantam major team. And it was then that the chemistry between the two began to manifest. Then, Chicago coach Anders Sorensen had this to say about the duo. You could tell at a young age that William and Nick were special players in terms of their hockey sense, skill level, and how they carried themselves, he says. William is a natural goal scorer, great skater, and Nick is a playmaker, to the point where you have to beg him to shoot the puck because he does have a very good shot, he says. Regardless, the pair combined, along with line mate Christian Dvorak, for 58 goals and 116 points in the 2010-2011 season. Despite taking different routes to the NHL following their Bantam days, the two later would rekindle their friendship while anticipating the 2014 NHL entry draft, as Nylander even visited Smoltz at his home in Wisconsin after the scouting combine. Following their NHL debuts, despite playing for different teams, the two still find time to catch up, and often showcase their reunions via social media. Possibly one of the most different types of bromances featured, these two originally met through Nylander's father Michael, who was playing in the NHL while son William was still in grade school. Nicholas was first introduced to the family shortly after arriving in the States as a 19-year-old with no nearby family and no place to go. End result, the Nylanders took in the young forward, and from there, William became acquainted with the superstar. Backstrom quickly became part of the younger Nylander's life as he would spend time babysitting, picking him up from school, and frequently playing ping pong. After school we did a lot of stuff. We played ping pong. Michael was better than me, he always beat me, so I had to play against the kids to get my confidence up, Backstrom says. Now that I think back, Nylander says, to how crazy it was to have a guy like that at your house all the time. We looked up to him, like our dad was boring and he was the cool guy. A decade later, the two became line mates for Team Sweden in the 2017 World Championships, while winning gold for their country and interrupting each other's post-game interviews. Two friends with a lot in common. That's allegedly one reason why these two formed such a bond early on, going back to their days with the Toronto Marlies. As both forwards' fathers are previous NHL players Sami Kapanen and Michael Nylander. The two also brought some European flavor to the squad, as both claim strong European heritage. And it was bromance at first glance as far as this duo is concerned. When I came in for development camp with Toronto, summer of 2015, he was one of the first guys I saw there, Kapanen says. We started talking. Ever since then, we've been hanging out with each other, bonding over stuff. It was so easy to have someone there. Not having that has been different, Kapanen says. After becoming teammates, the two later became roommates, previously for a few seasons. Some notable moments include hilarious Q&As, indulging in beach getaways, and slow dancing at a teammate's wedding. And it was when Nylander took a break from NHL hockey due to contract disputes that Kapanen warmed the hearts of Leafs fans all around by saying, "Yeah, I had a dream that he signed. I guess because it was in the air a lot and everyone was thinking about it. Weird. When I woke up, I was disappointed that it had just been a dream." But as we all know, the pair was later reunited, and therefore, Kapanen's dream came true after all.